Hello, everyone. Today we've got on a bunch of the strongest 125 kilo lifters in the U.S. who are going to be competing all at Collegiate Nationals, which starts next week. And we're just going to discuss a big battle in the 125s, probably one of the best battles for sure at Collegiate Nationals that we've seen in this weight class, and then also just probably the highlight of the class for this year. So we'll discuss the 125s, Collegiate Nationals for 2024, and then just collegiate powerlifting in general. So how about you each introduce yourself? We'll start with Gabriel.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. I'm a UC Berkeley student. I compete for lifters at Berkeley. I'm 21 years old and I'm 125, I guess.
Okay. Chancellor.
Hey, I'm Chancellor. I attend Sam Houston University in Huntsville, Texas, and I'm 125 as well, obviously, and I'm 20 years old.
And Dante.
Dante, I'm going to University of Texas, San Antonio. I'm 125 as well, and I'm 19 years old.
Okay. So we got 2 out of 3 of you are from Texas, which is definitely the biggest powerlifting scene in the U.S., and especially on like the collegiate and high school level. I know both you, Dante and Chancellor, you both were involved in Texas high school powerlifting, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know so much about the like collegiate scene on the West Coast. So Gabriel, how's powerlifting in UC Berkeley? Do you guys have like a big team?
Our team right now is growing. I know this year we actually got to like restart it again because there was like a little issue with like the old club. But it's definitely growing. I know it's nowhere near Texas. Yeah, but I know right now just the powerlifting scene on the West Coast in general is like growing and getting a lot bigger. So hopefully they'll introduce it to like high schools and like the collegiate scene will be even bigger.
Yeah, I mean, obviously California is I think the biggest state in the U.S. So yeah, they definitely would theoretically have a ton of competitors. I know they do have, just in general, there are a decent amount of competitors like in the open and juniors and whatever, but just not so much high school and collegiate.
Yeah, I think
so
you've never
right. You've never been to CNATs before, right? You're the only one here, I think. So this is your first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be
first
fun.
one and second or third USAPL meet. So.
Okay, so I guess of you guys, you're the least experienced, not just in USAPL, but in like you've done a bunch of meets, but not like a ton.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into powerlifting? Start with that.
Pretty much. I did martial like karate growing up. And so kind of my favorite thing about that was like the fitness aspect. And then I watched a lot of Dragon Ball as a kid. So I always just wanted to get jacked like them. So I started lifting when I was like 14, because that's when my parents let me finally like go weightlift at a gym. And then ever since then I kind of like fell in love with just like squatting, benching, deadlifting. And then I think my first meet was I was 17 years old. But I did USPA. And then finally I switched over in 2022. So yeah.
So you've done 2 USAPL meets?
Yeah, I've done California State champs and then 2023 Raw Nationals. And then I've done like 2 or 3 meets in US.
Okay. So you've done like 5 meets in general, and this is going to be your 3rd USAPL meet. So
Yep.
you switched over just, I'm assuming, just because there's like more structure in the USAPL and like the higher level like tested lifters for the most part were in the USAPL.
Yeah. So I switched over just because I wanted the competition there is not as intense, and I think it's evident just based on like the 125s and like in this it's that are going to compete at the CNATs. So yeah, just more competition. And I think the meets are just a lot more fun. It's not like a library when you're lifting. So
Interesting. For some reason, I always thought, like, I've heard other people say that like USAPL meets are actually quieter than the other meets, but I guess it's not necessarily true. It depends where you are, and every place is different.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done like a national meet in USPA. Maybe it's different, but I just remember. I just know like from the local meets I've seen in USAPL and like just like the meets I've been at, it's been a lot louder. So it's more
Right, yeah.
fun.
Oh, and that's for sure. And since this can be your first CNATS experience, I can tell you that of all the meets I've been to, CNATS is by far the loudest, like most intense meet. You're gonna have like, I don't know, 1,000+ lifters, so everyone's there. And since it's mostly teams, like everyone's actually like you are at Raw Nats, but Raw Nats, a lot of people come and they're there for like their day, and like they'll probably show up at like prime time for the other sessions if they're still there. But during the day, it's like there are people, but it's not crazy. CNAT's like people are there with their whole teams, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of people like in the stands, and like just like whole teams like sitting together. Like I remember, like I wasn't at CNAT's last year, but I was there 2 years ago, and you'd see like a team of like 25 Midland lifters just chilling in one spot, and then like 20 lifters from like that school, like whatever. So it's definitely a fun meet to go to. So it'll be an experience. And who's your coach?
Morgan Aquino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been with him?
I think, man, I want to say like almost 3 years now. When I signed with him, I was actually like super injured. So this is only going to be our like third meet. And so, yeah, I'm super happy with him. He's a great coach.
So how does it work? I don't know. Each school's different. Like who handles you at the meets? Do you guys have like a team coach for Berkeley? Like is that how it works? Or like do you have your personal coaches? How does that work?
So Morgan's my personal coach. I know we're working on making him the team coach for Berkeley, but because the club's still new, we're still like ironing that out. Like we only got established like last semester. And then for in terms of handling, unfortunately can't handle me for this meet just because he's a PA. So I think somebody on Reformance is gonna come handle like me and the rest of the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's the plan for now.
Right. I mean, that is nice that they're letting you have like, I mean, he technically is not your coach because your coach, he can't come because of Article 14.
Yeah.
But it's nice that like you don't have to strictly go by whatever your club. I mean, your club's not super established. How many people are in your club? Approximately, like I'm saying. Like do you have
in terms of like, because it's weird because there's like the power lifters and then there's like kind of like just like the other like lifters or like people who just like go to the gym. But I want to say like for CNATs, there are like, I want to say like 5-6 people going.
okay. That's
Probably
still fun.
like there's probably like 10 powerlifters total. Yeah.
Okay. So your club is still more of like a barbell club where it's a mix of like power lifters and just other people.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Chancellor, let's talk about your history a little bit. So you obviously have been involved in powerlifting since like high school. How did you get into powerlifting?
So for me, what got me into powerlifting was I saw a video of Russell Orhe on my YouTube, like randomly, and I was like, I'm trying to get like that. And this was my freshman year of high school, I believe. And I was on YouTube one day and I saw it on my Explore page, and I watched it, and then that's motivated me to get into powerlifting. And then some of my friends told me that I should probably do it. So then my sophomore year is when I actually did my first competition. And then before that, I started working out the summer before my freshman year. Kind of like the same reason why I saw this guy named Frank Madrano. He's a calisthenics guy, and that's what got me into working out. And then I saw Russell Orhe my freshman year, and yeah, that's what kickstarted it all.
So did you play sports before? Like, did you have
So
some sort of background?
before high school, I never played any sports, and my freshman year of high school is when I started playing football. So all of high school, I was doing football and powerlifting.
That's pretty crazy. You went to high school football without having played football before.
And
That
playing
is
football was an
what.
accident too. I didn't even
How
get to
did
start
that
playing it. So
how did
the
that
story behind
happen?
that was, so they had this strength and conditioning camp the summer before I started my freshman year, and I went to it thinking that it was just a strength and conditioning camp, but it was really a strength and conditioning camp for the football team. So I went, and then next thing you know, we're starting to do football drills and stuff, and then next thing you know, I have a locker and football gear, and then I just rolled with it, and yeah,
That's a hilarious story.
yeah.
I thought it was gonna. Once you told me it wasn't on purpose, I thought it was gonna be something like you were in the weight room one time and like you were big and like pretty strong and like somebody on the football team's like, "Yo, you gotta come play," whatever. You literally didn't realize that is hilarious. So you played throughout high school.
Yeah, I did.
What position did you play?
At first, I was a middle linebacker, and then from my sophomore year to my senior year, I was a DN to nose guard.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
right. From a middle linebacker to nose guard. That's a big image. I mean, I assume you got heavier over that time period.
yeah,
But okay,
yeah.
that's fun. Were you in like a big school or like?
Yeah, it was a pretty big school. It's the high school is called Shadow Creek High School. It's in Pearland. We went to state and won my junior year. I wasn't on a varsity team then, but yeah, we went to state on a. We didn't lose one game. We won state, and so yeah. The name is Shadow Creek High School. That's where I went.
Okay, that's cool. And then you had like a big powerlifting team in your high school also. Like how was that?
It wasn't huge. Uh, it was maybe like 10 of us, I think. Maybe like a little bit more than that, but yeah, it was like around 10 to 15. It wasn't huge or anything like
Right.
that.
But you were doing all like I don't even know how the schedule works there because like I've looked at like certain people's like open powerlifting before from like Texas, and like I see like 15 meets in like a year. Like they're just competing like
Yeah,
it feels like every weekend.
it really is. So with Texas high school, with THSBA, you compete every other week. So you have a meet and then you have like a week off and then you compete the next week. And you have three regular meets and then you have regionals and then you have state. So yeah, that's how that goes.
And people like go all out like every other week.
Probably. I mean, they're in high school, so they probably try to max out it every meet.
That is absolutely nuts. I
Yeah.
mean, it's fun, but so you went to like regionals and state when you were in high school?
So my junior year, I went to regionals for the first time, but I bombed out on squat and I couldn't compete for the rest of the meet. So that was kind of bummy. But my senior year, I went to regionals again and I placed a regional deadlift record was 665. And I went to state and I placed fourth. So yeah, that's how that went.
Right. So your introduction to powerlifting. Well, when you were there, like obviously Texas high school powerlifting is equipped, but like you were training equipped, you were training raw, you were training both. Like what were you doing?
I was training raw and I didn't get a squat suit or anything. I didn't get a squat suit until my senior year. And before that, all I was using was like a light bench shirt and knee wraps.
Oh,
So, and I've always loved to draw.
so you never went like super into it, like in terms of like the equipment. So yeah, and then
No.
you finished high school and you were done with equipment. That
Yeah, I
wasn't.
prefer volleying. It's just I get more enjoyment out of it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people prefer it. Also, just like it's just it makes things more complicated. Equipped, like especially when you're going heavier, you need like a bunch of spotters. Even on like an RP7 squat, they just because things go wrong, and definitely on any like moderately heavy equipped bench, you need spotters. So you gotta like
Yeah,
go at the right times.
yeah,
And like you can't get random spotters. You can't get like somebody you just randomly ask you to spot on bench. Normally, you can't do that for equip. So it's something more
yeah,
complicated.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So who's your coach?
My coach, his name is Michael Haffenbrad. He's the head coach at St. Houston, and yeah, he's one that writes all of our programs and all that.
Oh, okay, fine. So so your coach is the coach from. So how big is the Sam Houston powerlifting team?
We have a lot of people. I was looking at the group chat before, and I was looking at how many people in there. We have 86 people to be exact on the team, and
That's big.
well, all of them aren't actually like competing. Some of them have graduated before, but the people that are like a part of the team is 86 people. And then the people that are going to see Nats, it's like around 20 of us.
Oh wow, so that's you have a big
maybe a little
team.
bit more. Yeah, it's pretty big.
That's pretty fun. And you went in CNATS in 2022.
Yeah.
So you've been there before. Last year, you just chose not to go, or what was like?
It was an
injured
academic
or whatever?
situation that I wasn't able to go last year because of that. But I got all that straightened out, and I'm good this year to go. So
Okay.
yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you've experienced it, and you were 2022. So you were at that's the Lombard year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in Chicago. Yeah, that was pretty fun. It was my first Nats, like my biggest meet ever. So
Yeah, that
cool.
that was a fun one. Yeah, that was the CNAT 7 too. So that was definitely a fun one. Okay, so you guys and your whole team's like pulling up, and that'll be a fun experience.
Yeah.
Where is Sam? I know it's in Texas, but where in Texas is that?
It's in Huntsville, so it's north of Houston. It's like a small town north of Houston. Yeah, it's called Huntsville.
So it's not like one of the big cities because
No.
Texas obviously has got a bunch of massive cities.
Yeah,
and is that you grew up in that area also, or?
No, I grew up in Pearland, Texas, which is like right outside of Houston.
Oh, okay. So you grew up in the Houston area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you grew up in the Houston area and you got into powerlifting because of Russ. You ever went to Corrupted while you were home?
Yeah, I really before it closed down, I trained at Corrupted all the time. And I actually had my signing for the St. Vincent team at Corrupted too. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, before it closed down, I worked out there all the time. That was like my main place to train.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pretty crazy environment. I mean, I've been to some of the Texas gyms, have not made it to Corrupted, but it definitely looked pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so where
really
do you train now? Where do you train now?
So right now, whenever I have like main powerlifting stuff, I'll go to the gym called TSS Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I just work out at the gym here in Huntsville.
Right. Okay. So that's, I mean, Texas got a billion powerlifting gyms and a bunch of really good ones. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Dante, you're up. So how'd you get into the sport?
It's probably my first, because growing up, I was kind of like not a bad kid, but a bad kid. And I didn't get to play football. And I met some friends doing it. And they got me into it. And I figured I'd be good at it because my dad was strong. And he was benching around what I'm benching now, like 500-600 right out of high school. So I was like, damn, well, maybe I have like the genetics too. So I tried it out. My freshman year, I did like 1 or 2 meets, but I was not as good as I thought. And then my sophomore year, I started I get into it a little bit more. I went to regionals. Well, I bombed out like almost every meet. You go on my open powerlifting, you'll probably see it. I bombed out like 5 to 6 meets. It was crazy. And I still made it to regionals. I bombed out there on deadlift. And then after that, I made a promise to my mom, like, I definitely gotta be like the strongest before I leave high school. And that's why I told myself that I was gonna be one of the best before I left high school. And that's what I ended up doing. My junior year, I went to regionals. I lost to Seth Ruff, my friend. He was supposed to be at 125 this year, but he got scared and ran away to 140s. But that's why I came up, because he called me out saying that I wouldn't have a chance against him. So that's why I started like eating more and picked up the fork, because my friend Tony told me to pick up the fork if I'm gonna go against him. So I did that, but for the team's sake, he went to 140 just to knock off Midland from points. But I lost to him at state, but we squatted around the same because he hurt himself. And then I benched way more than him, and then he outdeadlifted me by a lot. Because I that year I ended up benching my deadlift, which is crazy. I won best bench at that time, and the following year I was like, damn, I gotta go harder then. Like I definitely gotta go crazy. And then the beginning of the year, I had a messed up year because I got COVID, and my mom got COVID. And then when my mom got COVID, she ended up passing as well. My dad had passed a couple years, not a couple, like 10 years before. It was called the swine flu. I don't know if y'all heard about that. It was like, it kind of like COVID, but my mom passed, and that I made a promise. I put my state ring because we won as a team at state, and I put my ring inside her casket and made a promise that I'm gonna go all out for her and like break rib and stuff. And that's what I ended up doing. I just went harder a year. I only competed like I think like 3 or 4 times, and my total was just increasing every meet. I ended up getting around 2K at state that year, and I won best lifter, best squat, and no best lifter and best bench that year. And I was gonna go to Midland too, but it was too far. It was a scam. They take all my money, so I was like, nah, I gotta go to San Antonio because my friend Tony broke down everything for me and like the price of what I would pay. They offered me a lot, but I was still gonna pay another 15 to 20K out of pocket, which was a lot for a person like me, like no extra financial support. So I went to here. I didn't have a good first year, but I gained more weight and my weight just started increasing a lot. And I saw the potential I had being on 125, so I took that route. That's basically how I got into powerlifting. Yeah, it's a long story.
So yeah, well, I'm sure there's a lot more to the story, but we'll get into some specifics. But so you're in UTSA. Does UTSA give powerlifting scholarships?
No, we don't give out powerlifting scholarships. It's like Houston, like we're very cheap still, but I guess financial aid usually covers it all for like for me, I don't pay nothing here. My financial aid covers it all. So that's why I came here.
Right. Yeah, I mean state schools, some state schools if you live in state end up being like much cheaper. No, because I was wondering, I know like Midland gives something, I think McKendree also does, but I don't know. Besides for those two, I don't like UTSA is probably the second biggest powerlifting team after Midland, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and then Blue Mountain Colleges, if they win any title, they're gonna start giving out full scholarships too. So that's gonna be another school we're gonna have to compete against to like get people here.
Wait, which school?
Blue Mountain College in I think Mississippi.
I'm not even
Yeah,
sure.
I think they're in
I'm not sure.
Mississippi.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
they're pretty
I don't know
good
who goes
too.
there.
They're supposed to.
No, dude, I went to a local meet in Mississippi, and it was just a local. It wasn't like collegiate or anything. And like so many of like that's why I recognize that name. Like a bunch of team members just went and competed there, and it was like a big team.
They're a really good team. They're pretty strong on the equip side.
Yeah, most of them, I think most, if not all of them, were equipped.
Yeah, and then the person that was raw, he could have won the A2s, but he chose to go equipped just to win as a team. He's a team player. That's why.
He could have done. Oh, are they on the same day? You can't do both, right?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I don't know. I've heard someone done both, which is crazy because if you could do both, I would have probably done both.
I was gonna
like
say like
yeah,
I would say I would say you probably can't do both because they're if you're in the same weight class the same day. It would be like you could do like 125s raw and then like 140 equipped or something like that the next day. But they're probably the same day either way. But like obviously based off your experience, like you're the most experienced lifter here. I mean, you've done like I don't know, what is it, 30, 35 meets or something. You've done a ton of meets. So you seem like the person who would like go raw and then just go equipped like the next day.
Yeah, because recently I competed here in December at Collegiate Cup. I totaled 840 in the 125s. I just wanted to see like my full potential at 125, like without cutting or nothing. And then I hit 840. I was just like, damn. But 2 weeks later, they wanted me to go back to 110. I did not make the cut. It was too hard for me. But I still competed, and I totaled 840 again. It was like 2 or 3 weeks apart. And I just freaked out. Like, how do I tried cutting too. That whole morning I was in the sauna, and it just didn't work for
me. You actually weighed heavier at the second meet.
Yeah, because I was like, no, I'm not going to compete. So I was like, I'm just going to go eat, get some Chipotle, and then just watch the meet. Well, I got like 2 bowls of Chipotle. I ate them, and I was like, damn, I want to compete. So like, whatever, I'm just going to compete. And my friend Tony, he's like a good coach. He's a coach to me, but not really a coach. He's like one of my closest friends that came down from him and actually transferred. but he's always on my ass. So I was like, nah,
Is
I'm
this
just gonna
Tony
compete.
Wynn?
Yeah, Tony Lane, yeah. But he was like, no, don't compete. I'm leaving because he was gonna handle me. I was like, no, I'm gonna compete, whatever. And I asked Mikey, he's like, I don't want you to, but if you want to, I can't stop you. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I just weighed in and I just competed. And I was by myself the whole meet. Like I handled myself. And then Buddha was there. I don't know if y'all know Buddha. I don't know. Kevin Wynn. I think that's his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there and he kind of helped me out throughout the meet.
So you're used to doing the meets 2 weeks apart from your high school career. So I was saying because
Yeah.
doing meets 2 weeks apart usually is not so ideal. But
I switched my training now. Like it's a lot better now. But back then it was not too good.
how long have you been with Mikey for?
I think like since June or July of 2023. I barely got with him.
Okay.
I'm not even a year.
Oh, okay. So you're still in your first year with him. So you're still getting accustomed to having like a regular coach. How does it work in UTSA? Is there like a team coach or what is there?
Not gonna lie, it's not very structured, right? But it's just a lot of coaches. I mean, there's coaches for the team, but like me and Seth, we have our own coaches, which is Mikey, and then there's other people that have all over coaches. It used to be like everyone you have to get permission to have a coach from outside UTSA, but now like everyone it don't really matter.
Oh, okay.
But next year, I
Yeah.
know they're bringing on a few more coaches, so it's gonna be more structured and stuff. Oh,
Right.
indeed.
But it's not like Midland where like you have to be coached by Tim Anderson and everybody from
No.
like for everyone from the 59s to the 120 pluses are all doing the same workout. But so it's not like that here. Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, it's huge. It's huge. How many people do you have on your team?
I think the same as Sam Houston, like 70, 80, but taking a CNATs is like 35, 38, maybe 40.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it's not
So
like
you take
in Midland. That's why Tony's over here because he don't believe like one program fits all. Like that's because there's a lot of people that have decreased in progress when they went there, so they left and stuff. That's why he came over here actually, because he didn't like the one program fits all.
yeah,
And it works pretty
I
well
would.
for us. Like all our athletes are going pretty good right now. Our raw team is pretty stacked.
So you're bringing you're bringing a full raw team and probably a full equipped team also, or I mean 35, 40 people is a pretty big team.
Full raw team, but we just don't have the small weight class like Tim Anderson does, because that's how he ends
Right.
up winning. Because he puts like 2 or 3 in the 52s, and
Yeah.
that's 12, 10, 9 point. It's like, come on.
So I mean, are you trying to like I don't know like who's competing for all the schools, but like do you guys have a chance to actually beat them on the raw side?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
It's gonna be a big competition because like our 60 is pretty good. Oh, he is good. He's probably gonna pull like 6. That's probably his best lift as a 60, and then our 67
who's
is
your
really good.
wait, hold up. You have
As a
60 is pulling
60,
6. Who
not a
is this?
66.
No, a
Who is
60.
this?
Tyler
Who is
Morrow.
this?
Tyler
Oh,
Morrow,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
He's a little
Yeah,
beef.
okay. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got a huge pull.
Tony
Okay.
coaches Tony coaches most of our team, and like a lot of people hate him, but he's a very good coach. I like him as a coach because if I don't have Mikey around, I have him around, and he knows how to keep me in check and give me the tips I need. Like the reason why I made so much progress because I have him around in my corner, which is really good for me. And then our 67 is actually really good too. Like he came in like not so hot, but like Tony's helped him a lot, and he's now like good. Hopefully, gonna win, but it's gonna be a fight for him. And then of course we got Tony in there as well as 75. We don't have an 82 or 82 bounce on us. He was a freak too. His name was Henry. 100 we don't got 100, and then me 125, and then Seth 140.
So I'm gonna ask you. So we were talking before about high school and Texas high school powerlifting. So you were competing in the 125s, and I look. There's more than this because Open Powerlifting doesn't have all the results for Texas high school. but it looks like there's about 10,000 competitors in the 125s in Texas, which is pretty crazy. Like, people don't realize that Texas high school powerlifting is bigger than the entire IPF. People do not realize one state, just high school, has more lifters, 10,000 lifters just in the 125s. And you have, and there's more. Those are 10,000 just on the open powerlifting, which is not counting all the ones who like they haven't like input results the last couple of years, I don't think, onto open powerlifting. But your total, you have 916 and a half kilo total, like 2020 or something like that, is the heaviest 125 total ever, and I think it's the 5th highest total in Texas high school powerlifting ever. So my question is, when do you break that 916 raw?
Hopefully this meet, actually. That's the plan. Like, I have my last heavy squat after this. We'll see how that goes, but that's the plan this meet. Hope break it or just do enough to keep up with Gabe and Chance. Because the goal is to go to IPF after this meet to beat Weeze and Seth.
So is this your last USAPL meet, you think?
Possibly, because Flex said there's no reason I shouldn't be at the IPF level.
So you would wait till next year. You're not talking about this year.
I think that if it's allowed, more than likely this year. Like, I'll just
hop
back
in prep. It would just be tight, but I think you can.
Registration's still open. So
yeah,
it's actually like right after. Oh, go ahead.
Wait,
we're gonna register like right after CNATs.
Yeah, I think registration closes like 3 days after it ends or something like that.
Yeah, because no one knows we're going, but there's a lot of us that might go. Because it's a raw title.
So right. So if this is your last USAPL meet, you'll try to go out with a bang.
More than likely, but my coach really wants me to stay and just do enough to try and win because he wants me to go all out on IPF. Because I have to go against that dude. I think Nojo.
Oh yeah,
he wants to save for that. It's because like thing, I say like I'm the strongest. Well, I'm about to turn 20, so I'll be older than him. But I say I'm one of the strongest 19-year-olds on the planet right now.
When do you turn 20?
He took that title from me, and it's like 6 days after CNATs.
So you're trying to hit the heaviest total for a teenager.
Yeah, I'm going for all the records. I was gonna try and attempt the IPF open squat record, but I don't know if we're gonna do that this year. Okay, maybe at Worlds. So we'll see.
We'll get into who we think is gonna win later. But what total do you think it's gonna take forget who wins, but how much do you think is gonna be needed for whoever wins this meet to hit? What number?
Over 2K for sure. That's what I feel like.
Wow. Okay. I really hope that happens because that would be insane.
Because I know Gabe's going for 900. I know I watched one of his videos and said he's going for 900. That's what I'm saying, like probably 2K. Because even if Seth was competing too, like it'll definitely be over 2K.
Do you have like a personal battle where you're trying to beat Seth even though you're not in the same weight class?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because the main reason why I hopped in this class is because I was saying like, damn, we need to compete against each other. Because he beat me my junior year. I was like 16, he was like 18. And I was just like, I need to run it back. I have to. So we're in college now, and this is probably like my last year with the USAPL. So I was just like, we need to run it back. And he was like, maybe at Ronats. I was like, yeah, because one of our friends, you know how people instigate stuff. He was like, it'll be a pretty good match. And Seth was like, nah, like I'll shit on you and this and that. I'm like, really? I was like, you really think that? And then my other friend was like, hell no, like Dante has a lot of potential. You don't know that. And he's like, nah, I'll still like beat him real easy. I was like, all right, say less. So I just started like eating crazy, like Chipotle. I'll eat out every day. And I gained like all this weight, and then my number just started like increasing. Even Mikey was like freaking out how much progress I was making. Because I still go hard in the gym. Like I have a lot going on for myself, and I used it all towards like the gym and go crazy. Like right now, squatting over 8, And before I got on Mikey, my max was like 670. And it hasn't even been a year. And then my bench was like 474 before I got out there. Now it's like at 530. And then deadlift has been progressing a lot too. But I just started eating way more, and now sets like set. I told him 840 at C cup, and he was just like, "Oh shit, he's coming." Because I told him I was gonna do something, so I did it. But now we're gonna. It's just a friendly battle. I'm just gonna try out to him too at CNETs.
I mean, that sounds like a goal. So obviously, you've done a ton of equipped lifting. Are you like? Do you do any sort of equipped lifting now, or do you think you're done with equipped?
I don't know. I really want to take records in both. That's why. Because the other day, I put on a bench
just because. Yeah. Oh, I saw that. You bench 7.
Yeah, it would move. It was a bench daddy. It was a double ply. The owner just gave it to me. He's like, "Here, you can have this. Try it out." I was like, "You know what? Whatever." But it did mess with me a lot. Like, if I shouldn't have done it, especially in prep.
I mean, like it's hard on the IPF side to make worlds. I mean, obviously it's easier juniors than it is in the open, but like the equipped side, the US is not nearly as dominant. So like, if you want like a chance to go to worlds and like I don't know what any of the equipped junior records are, but I'd imagine that you probably are somewhere in the range. So yeah, that would mean you could still do both. Like there are people who do both. It's hard to do both at your like top level. You really have to like pick like a season, like this season you're going raw or this season you're going equipped. But
yeah, that's what me and Seth is like. If we don't do good at PA Nat, hopefully we can hop in just to go to equip Nats right after, which is the PA equip Nats. But I feel like there's no competition in the equip side for PA right now.
Right. Well, the goal would be to have your competition at Worlds. That's
Even the guy that won last year, he wasn't that good.
What, the guy who won Worlds or Nationals?
Worlds. Well, that was a sub junior, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you're not a sub junior.
Yeah, not no more. So. But it'll be a run. But I feel like if I hopped in equipment, I could squat like 1,000 pounds. I'm not even gonna lie, because I've never had the best equipment. When high school, I didn't have the best equipment. I had like just the cheapest Centurion squat shoe, not a super, just regular knee wraps. I would have to find a wrapper every other meet, like someone new, and it was always different. And just the regular black bench shirt. They didn't want to give me the gray one because they knew I benched like 700, 500 pounds, like 750 pounds probably. Because that gray one's a cheat code in high school now. But the katana, it didn't mess me up though when I did it last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool to try both. I mean, you're still young. You still got 3 more years after this in the juniors to see where you're doing. But okay, fine. So we'll get back to all this stuff later. So Gabriel, are you a junior or a senior?
Senior.
So this is okay. So this is your CNETs, whatever. So I'll ask the same question I asked Dante. What number do you actually think it's going to take to win this year's CNETs?
I think 900 plus. I think it has to be 900 plus, whether it's like one of us 3, but I know all of us are going to be pushing pretty hard for that. And I think all of us in this like chat room are capable of that. So yeah, I think something like that.
Okay. I hope it is. Chancellor, what do you think?
I think, yeah, probably like around the same as Gabriel, around 1950, 1980, around there.
Yeah. So, okay. So we'll just start with you now and talk in terms of actual training, right? So I've seen a lot of what you've been hitting in prep and stuff. How do you feel your prep has been going overall?
It's been going pretty good actually, especially like the past like few like couple months, especially for bench as well. Like my bench height like started like improving like a lot, like out of nowhere. Yeah, it's been going pretty good. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, it looks like you've hit, like, in training, you've hit like stuff on, I mean, on every lift, really. When did you hit a 200 kilo bench, like, sometime, when was that? That was like sometime somewhat
It was
recently.
it was like February, I think.
Okay. So it was
Like towards like
February.
end
Okay.
February maybe.
Okay. So that would be like a pretty big PR.
Yeah.
I see you attempted that your last meet. I have no idea what happened there, if that was close
Yeah.
or not, but
At my last meet, I got it like halfway up, and then it just like started going back towards my head, and then I just couldn't lock it out. So yeah.
but now, okay, that's good. But wait, do you hide any training? I'm curious.
No, I haven't hit anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm just curious in general, because like I wonder, like, obviously there's certain people that like look like they don't, like, they post like all their big lifts, like it's pretty clear they're not hiding, and some people post nothing, so they're not hiding, they just don't post anything. And then there's the people who like post some things and hide some things. I I don't know. I find that weird. I think like either I would post like everything or post nothing. But yeah. So right, and then you hit a 700-pound squat like a couple weeks ago. That was good.
Yeah, that I hit that for a single, and I'm glad I hit that. It was like a big confidence booster for me because before that, I hadn't squatted 700 since last February. So it was a big confidence booster for me. I hit 705 at the Aggie Showdown last February, and that was my first time hitting over 700. But after that, I hadn't hit it at all until I hit the 700 single. So
Right. And I'd imagine you probably never hit 7 in training. Like that was in a competition.
no,
I'd imagine you've never. So that's definitely a good sign. And you see, it looks like your openers. You're playing open 650 on squat and 705 on deadlift. So
yeah,
those you post, and then bench. I'm going to assume probably somewhere in like the 400 range for your bench
yeah,
opener.
yeah.
Right. So then you're definitely expecting Oh, and then you also hit a when was that? You hit a pretty big deadlift some point, like not in meet, like in training. I don't know what it was. I remember like 750 or something like that.
It was 755. I don't remember when I hit it. I think it was either like December of last year or like in January. Um,
So so how's
yeah.
deadlift been? How's deadlift been going since then? Because that's also obviously above your PR.
It's been going pretty good. Definitely been feeling more stronger on it the past few weeks to a month. Um, yeah, that was feeling strong too. Really, everything feels strong right now, honestly. So yeah,
So my question is, are you going to pull last? Is that your goal? I mean, looks like deadlift's going well.
we'll see, man. I want to actually, I will pull last.
Just keep. Oh, what's the name? Jordan, who's not on here, he's pulled 770 in comp. So just putting it out there.
I see the record. I see he has the record right now, so we'll see if I can break it or not.
And he attempted
Okay,
800 to beat me at CK.
Oh, he did do that.
Oh,
He did do that.
okay.
Yeah, he's a full sender. But
yeah.
I don't know. He has
We
his
gonna see.
cheerleading thing going on, so
Yeah, that's
we'll
true.
see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, also just comes down to like attempts. Like all of you guys can. I mean, I expect all of you to hit. Like I'm looking at all your like current totals, and like you're all gonna hit like pretty big PRs on your current totals, just based on like. I think all three of you like are capable of hitting PRs on every single lift. Like I think it's pretty obvious just based off like the numbers. So the only question is like, are you gonna go 9 for 9? Are you gonna go 8 for 9, 7, whatever? If somebody goes 6 for 9, they're not gonna win. It's not gonna happen. Like
No.
you can't win. You can't win a tight battle going 6 for 9. But like if you go 9 for 9 and like just take like hit PRs, but like take like reasonable attempts, then like I think it would be cool if like it ends up being where like the battle really is like 900. Like if there's like if like top 3 is like 905, 900, 890, like that would be absolutely insane. I honestly just looking at like practically, I think it probably won't end up happening just because everyone would have to have like a perfect day, and most of the time people just don't have perfect days. But like that would be fun. So yeah. Okay. So right. So your training's going well, Chancellor, on everything, and then
Yeah.
you also See, obviously, Dante's going to try to make you guys all pull 800, but he's obviously going to pull first. So that's one disadvantage. One disadvantage. Oh, we got to be real here. I'm saying unless you're hiding some massive deadlift, you're going to be pulling first of this group. I don't mean of like I don't know. There's a lot of other people who we're not looking at, but of the group of you three and then Jordon, like I would say those are the four like contenders.
Yeah.
The Midland doesn't have a 125.
Not that I know, not to compete with us.
Yeah,
Like,
that's surprising. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think there's I don't think there's anybody else close. I was looking at like the nominations and like you four were like in the same range on nominations. Like, and then like after that, there was just like a huge like drop off to whoever was fifth. So maybe Midland's fifth, but like it's definitely not close. So yeah. So
yeah,
so yeah. What were we saying?
He don't like big guys. He likes the little guys because that's where all the points are. Because no one's in the 60 under like 60 kg and down. Like no one's there. You know. So
Right.
he always recruits the smallest people.
Right. I mean, but they usually have like they for sure have a lifter in every class. It just might not be like the top one. Yeah, it's not. They don't leave any empty slots. Like I heard one year somebody was telling me like they had no 52, so they literally just went like Tim told one of the kids on the team to just go look on campus, find the smallest person on campus you see, and then just like drag him to the gym. And they brought him in like he did not like he lifted like 50 kilos or whatever, but like there was no other competitors, so they just won the class.
That's sick. Unfair.
Yeah, I think that's kind of stupid, but like, I mean, it is pretty hilarious. Like, if you have like a legit team that has like funding or whatever, and like you could just take some random dude off the street and like, yeah, we'll fly you out to see Nats to lift the bar and just get us team points.
So, yeah, we had one of those, but he just stopped coming. Like, he came to everything, he did everything for us, but he just stopped coming. We're like, damn, like if we would have had him, the men's raw team would have had it locked on first. Because he was like the smallest dude. He's like a little white boy. He would squat so high. Like his form was so bad, but like we needed him to get them to a point to know.
Right. But now you know. Okay. Fine. Gabriel, let's talk about your training. So I've seen obviously like most of everything you posted. So you're not hiding anything, are you?
No, I'm trying to post and grow the social media a little bit, but yeah, I think this has been the best training I've ever had for a meet prep, simply because it's the first meet I haven't had to cut weight for. It's my first meet as a 125. My last meet at Raw Nats, I cut 40 pounds into the meet.
You cut 40 pounds. Wait,
yeah,
what were you training at?
I got pretty big. I was like training at like I got up to 270 winter break, but then I wanted to compete as a 110. And so I just like from December all the way to the meet, I was just cutting. It was pretty stupid decision. I should have just committed, but also I was like, I don't know. I felt I wanted to do 110 because it was so competitive. But then now I decided I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be bigger in the off season, might as well just compete at that weight. But everything's been going well so far.
Wait, let's just go back for a second. So you want the cut because 110 was competitive. You were doing the juniors, right? So you came second. Who won?
Tyler Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Tyler Wilson won.
Oh, it was you pulled for the win, right?
I tried to pull for the win, but I think because like I've deadlifted like 345 in training. And I almost did it like in comp like 2 years ago, but I think just that weight cut, I was like like by the time I got to bench and deadlifts, I was cramping so bad that my like coach had to like massage me between every like warm-up set, every like attempt, like just give me like a full body massage and then send me in. I couldn't like close my hands either, so I was kind of like just benching with open hands.
Oh, that's not fun. But okay, so now you're 125. So like now, what are you weighing like now?
Like 267 in the morning.
Okay, so you're still not even you're not even full for 125.
Yeah, and
how tall are you?
Oh, I'm 6'1", but I didn't want to fill it out because when I like it messes with my deadlift leverages because like my gut starts getting like too big.
Right, Adam. Yeah, in general, that's why like you don't in the biggest weight classes you don't really see much sumo just because to have like good sumo leverages weighing like 140 kilos or whatever is like kind of almost impossible. But especially on like a stiff bar, like on a deadlift bar, it's easier because like with the amount of whip, like you could get into a little better positioning. But on a stiff bar, if you're that big, it's like impossible. So right, so you're like 267, so that's okay. So you don't have to worry about weight cutting, but you also get to just eat normally into the meat and everything. So that's
which I'm excited for because I want to see how good the peak is when I don't have to worry about my weight.
Right.
And I'm not like cramping intensely like between everything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know like how much you normally get out of the peak, but even before the peak, just looking at like training, like I mean, obviously you've competed not nearly as many times as some of these other people, but like you've had like a just increase like meet to meet. Each meet was just like a pretty big jump, and like now like everything that you hit previously is like easy. Like you hit like you hit 345 on squat, which is like 15 keys over your best squat. You're taking like your comp bench for like reps on a deload, like and then deadlift you hit the 350 pull like a month ago or something like that. So right, that's like a month ago. Yeah. So like everything's going well. So you're gearing for that 900. Dante was saying.
Oh, sorry, it's a little loud. Oh, what did you say?
So you're gearing up for that 900 total.
Yeah. I'll hopefully the 900 plus will win the meet, but even if like it doesn't, that'll just be a personal win for me because I feel like I was talking to one of my friends for my last meet. He was like, "Yeah, when you hit like 2K, that's when you're officially like just strong as shit." So I was like, I remember that. I was like, "All right, well." I was like, okay, I took that personally. I was like, okay, I'll hit that.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming like winning is the first priority versus like hitting specific numbers.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It just I happen to think that both like go hand in hand, but yeah.
Right.
It's gonna
right. I mean, but like
it's gonna be close.
You're gonna pull right. I mean, you're definitely gonna pull towards the end. I don't know who's gonna end up pulling last. That'll also just like I mean, a lot of that will just come down to like lot number and like just who needs what, right? Because like everybody's gonna let's say assuming it's close, right? And then everyone's gonna try to pull into first, right? That's what normally happens. So like you'll take whatever the number that you need is. Like you're not gonna like if you need 345, you'll take 345. If you need 355, you'll take 355. Whatever it is. I mean, I don't know what your top end is, but like you're not gonna load 400 obviously, but like within reason, you're just gonna load what it takes. So
yeah, hopefully I'll be the last pull, but it sounds like Jordan's got a really strong pull, so we'll see. Jordan Chance, I mean, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Mike is muted, but Jordan has joined the party. A little late, but it's all right. We got all the contenders here now. So Jordan, just quickly, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jordon Spence. I'm a student here at McKendree University. Obviously, I'm one of the competitors in the 125 kg class. Just overall, really, right now, I'm just blessed and just glad to be able to go against you guys and be able to meet. It's a huge opportunity that I don't get, so just excited about that.
Yeah, awesome. And so you have previously competed at CNATs both the past 2 years, right?
Hmm?
And you actually won the 125 kg title, not this past year, but in 2022. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct.
Then, so last year, and you won at like, it was like barely over 110 too, which is insane. Like you were like 110.9 or something.
Yeah, I was like one less, I think, like 244, I believe. Yeah.
So what was the reasoning to go at that meet specifically 2 years ago? what was the reasoning to go 125 rather than 110?
I mean, well, my coach, he wanted to show that like I was more of like a hybrid lifter, just like to prove that like I'm not just in this certain category. I can also compete in this category as well. And I feel like that like spoke volume. Also, I am a team player, so like it helped the team at the long run, because I don't think we had another 125 at the time. So I gave up the 110 because my previous year was my first CNATs. I had came in second in the 110s, and I was really working really hard to like get back and win in the 110s, and then end up moving to the 125. So I got into the 125. That's when like we went in, we didn't know what was really going to go on. So like I just tried my best during prep to really be as strong as I can, and messed around and like won. I think I got like best dots, and I had like a perfect season with 9 for 9 as well.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. Like, because I was like, oh, he's previously won the title for what we're all after, right? In the 125. And then I look at your body weight and I'm like, whoa, 110.9. And I think it's really interesting because we kind of talked about that earlier, where Seth, he goes to the same school as you, right, Dante? You just nod.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so he like the reason he's not competing in the 125 this year is for the team points. He's going up to 140. So it's like I feel like CNATs is just it's an interesting meet because it's one of the only meets where the team is like really important. Like you see at meets like IPF Worlds, like yeah, the team's important, but it kind of feels like a secondary factor almost. Like you don't really see people, maybe except like Bob this year in the 120s. You don't really see people like moving around weight classes for the team. Usually it's like it's more on an individual level, like you want to do your best. But at CNAT, like the team aspect is just so important. You kind of see people like jockeying around like that. So okay, Mike's back. We just went over Jordon's his history. So he had won, as we know, he won 125s in 2022, but he won at a body weight of like 111, like just a kilo over the class. So I kind of asked him like what was the reason for competing 125s, and it was due to the team factor, where just for team points it made more sense to go 125s, and then you ended up winning, which is great.
Gotcha. Okay. So I asked everyone else like some of these background questions before, so I'll just like ask you now. So obviously you've been powerlifting for a bit and you're on McKendree, which is one of the bigger, probably the second biggest like powerlifting team, like after Midland. Like how'd you get into powerlifting?
Say that last part again.
How did you get into powerlifting? Like what was your introduction?
Honestly, I was kind of forced into it. I mean, I honestly didn't like want. It was like my sophomore year of high school. Our defensive head coach, Justin Dye at the time, he wanted to create a powerlifting team. I didn't even know what powerlifting was, so we was normally just in the gym trying to get bigger and stronger for the season, and messed around and basically ended up forming a team. I think my first deadlift ever was like 405. I hated it. I didn't like how it made my body feel. But I think I saw like one of my other teammates, LeBaron Shelton. He was like getting stronger, and of course I'm trying to be competitive and all. I ended up like just kind of grinding it out, and then we just like kind of messed around and like got stronger and stronger over the years. And I ended up placing like in both state competitions. I think my first year was like North Half. That's like the meet before state. And then in my junior and senior year, I went to state, came in second, and then I ended up getting the Super 12 team of in Mississippi. And like down south, like normally powerlifting is just like it's like a hobby in a way. Like we didn't think there was like a collegiate side to it. So when I had got an offer from McKendree, and I also got another offer from Blue Mountain College, like I was kind of shocked. And that kind of like just opened up a whole new world like for me. And so like, cause like down south, like we always went the football route. Like that was your way out of Mississippi. Like you have to go football or whatever you was good at. So not only was I the first to get a powerful scholarship from my high school, but it also like led me to go move on to do bigger and better things like outside the state of Mississippi itself.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so you have the football background.
Yeah.
You missed it, but I thought the story was hilarious, so I'm just gonna repeat Chancellor's story. He's the exact opposite. He was saying that he was like getting into training and everything, right? And he found out about the strength and conditioning camp. So he went like thinking it'd be awesome, right? He goes, he's doing all the lifting, and then at the end they start doing some drills. And he didn't realize it wasn't just the strength and conditioning camp, it was the football team's strength and conditioning camp. So he had never played football in like middle school or anything, and he just like got onto the football team because by mistake he went to the wrong camp. So I thought it was pretty funny. So you started football and then you were obviously training because you were doing football, so you were already lifting and stuff. In Mississippi, is high school powerlifting raw or equipped?
It's more like a mixture of both. Like, I don't know if I haven't been there in a minute, so like I don't know if it's still the same or not, but they normally have you in these like or squat, like you're in the equipped suit. And you'll have knee wraps. And then bench is raw. There's no bench shirts or anything like that. And then deadlift, what we do is we like turn the we kind of like turn the suit around to have like more of a leverage in the squat suit in order to deadlift. Like that's how we did it. But
so it's like what, not real raw, not real equipped, like some in between thing.
Like, it was really a mixture, but if I can like go back and like kind of bring order like in the state and get it how it actually should be, I most definitely would.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So then out of high school, you got recruited to McKendree. That's how you ended up there. Where is McKendree? Is that in Missouri?
No, it's in Lebanon, Illinois.
Oh, it's in Illinois. Okay, I knew that's right. That's like somewhat near Chicago, somewhat near like they're all in like close area. Okay, and then McKendree, you guys got a big team. Like how many people do you have on your team?
I know we got a lot of boys. It's probably the biggest class we had like since I've been here. I don't know the exact number, but I just know that we have a lot here. Like
and
to
then
the point
you're bringing,
yeah,
and you're bringing like I'm saying, bringing a pretty big team to CNETs, like right, yeah. And then you've been there before twice, like they said you were discussing before. So like you're the you have the experience at CNETs here and whatever. Right. So now you do powerlifting, and then also you're on the cheer team.
Yeah, I'm on the cheer team as well.
Yeah. So how does I don't know much about that, but like how does that work? Like you have competition like.
So this year is like probably the most, I ain't gonna say really stressful, but like we leave I think on the 8th with cheer. I'm with them until the 12th. We compete on our last day is the 12th. So I got 24 hours to get on the plane and go to Atlanta and compete on that Sunday. Last year they was a week apart. This year it's just a couple of days apart. So like training while also doing cheer, I mean, not only did it take a toll like on my body because it was to a point where like I had to like recover more than what I had to, because not only are you throwing these girls up and like catching them and hitting all these stunts, but like you're also dismounting, throwing baskets, and you got pyramids and all this other stuff. And like just being an all around like athlete with strength conditioning, and then you got powerlifting in this size of it. In both sports, like with cheer, we're ranked top 3 right now. We have a chance to win a national title in cheer. So that's pretty exciting. So like right now we just getting down to the nitty gritty and trying to like figure out like what's best for the team and the routine and stuff like that.
Are there any people besides for you that are crossovers on both teams? Or just
this girl named Kaylee Carr, she was a cheerleader and a powerlifter, but now she's just strictly powerlifting.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. One day apart in between. In general, like how does that like affect your like this is one specific time, but like just training for like both like practice and then powerlifting training and whatever, like
I mean, well, just get in the gym, be able to do what I got to do. Like, I treat it more like I'm actually on the platform, like, because each lift, like, I treat it as if that's like one of my 3 lifts within that, like squat, bench, or deadlift. You can't waste any type of rep because, like, you got other guys that are literally like training like yearly for this exact event. So you can't slack off. You can't sit here and just be like, oh, well, I got it. It's whatever. I won 2 years ago. We're good. Like that's a no-go at all. Like everybody's hungry. The competition is like it's massive. I'm just glad to be a part of it. Honestly, just grateful. Thank God on that part. But like the transition, it's not bad. Like I would just say, like I've always trained to like push my body past its limits. So therefore, if we ever was ever to get into a competition like or a situation to where like I was like fatigued or anything like that, I feel like I was able to push through it and still be able to capitalize on it.
Okay, that's a pretty good answer. How does so McKendry, like do you have a coach, or like is it a team coach? How does that work?
Oh yeah, Coach Brad, Bradley Betchel. He's been with us since 2019. He did take a year off, but he became the head coach back in 2021, I believe. I have like my relationship with Brad, like he's more like a father figure to me. Like he's helped me not only with powerlifting but outside. He's been an understanding coach. He understood like whenever I like picked up cheer. He understood when I had joined like my fraternity and stuff like that. Like he's always hands on. He always like opens your mind up to like these new things or new ways to like lift. Like if that makes sense. Like it's I don't know. It's like when he talks, I'm very intrigued in what he's saying. Like it really teaches me like how like you could bench this way, but you could also bench better this way. Or you may be comfortable doing this, but you could also be uncomfortable doing this, but it'll like eventually get you to being successful within the powerlifting sport. But like all around, like um just a great coach, and like just him doing it by himself, like on both the women and men's team, like it's amazing. And like just him being in like head coach, we've platformed with him like 2 years in a row. Like I said, he has national champions underneath his belt. Um, he's also like competed as well. Um, he always like to talk trash or whatever because like my bench isn't as strong as his because he like I think he benched like 530, 550 or somewhat like that. So it's just grateful to be able to have that mentorship and also to have somebody that has like the bar like it's already set up there, so all I gotta do is reach it. He told me one time, I think it was one meet, I can't remember which one it was. He told me that I had beaten his total, and I was like, oh, I was like, okay, that's great. And he was like, yeah, I always wanted one of my athletes to do that, and I was like, well, that's amazing because just like I said, just have him around and like in my life and stuff like that, like he always pushes me to do more, and like especially this season like with cheer and powerlifting, like he knows it's a hassle. He knows that like we are like just trying to get down to like what we need to do coming meet day, and I always like tell him like I'm not gonna let you down on meet day. Like whatever you put on the bar, I'm gonna try my best to lift it as much as I can. So it's really just it falls into that trust factor now, and that's what I like between me and him, and not just only me and him, but he has that with his other lifters as well. So
that's pretty cool. Yeah. So you're we were talking before just about prep and stuff. You're the only one here who doesn't really post their lifts, so it's hard for anyone to know what's going on. How's just prep in general? Like, how are you feeling?
well, okay. To start with social media, I kind of feel like it's like I done picked up so much stuff, like with the frat. Like I'm trying to charter a chapter here on my campus, and then also like I said, cheer and stuff like that. But like with prep, like I haven't really been posting much because like I said, I just got a really busy schedule. I had won an award in my fraternity, so like I just been kind of spread out and just like doing all these things, and also trying to stay on top of powerlifting as well. But like prep wise, I mean, I've had my days where I like came in fatigued, tired, but I always like pushed through. I had my days where I came in and I'm like okay, we got a max effort, so we're gonna have to get down to it. I mean, we have no choice. Obviously everybody else, they're hungry, they want to win, national talk. Like I have this like thing with myself, like you say you want to win this national title, but like how bad do you actually want it? Just because you got one don't mean that, the job is done. So it just like I challenge myself, I critique myself, and I'm very hard on myself, even though like I'm doing a lot, but I feel like I can do so much more compared to like what I've been doing. But like prep though wise, I mean, like I said, I have my battles, I have my days, but like right now, I feel like we're really peaking and everything's moving like really really good.
Okay, that's good. Are you a senior?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
So this your last CNATs.
They want me to come back because apparently we have 2 years eligibility, but I'm like, it's kind of you kind of hit that point where like you kind of stay too long, so I'm like I'm not really trying to stay too long. I'm trying to like compete like on the levels like raw nationals and then like maybe one day go to IPL or whatever the case may be.
Right, that makes sense. But either way, so you're a senior, so even if you're not going back, like you've experienced like a whole collegiate powerlifting career in like one of the like better collegiate powerlifting teams. So we'll start with you, and then we'll ask everyone this question: like, what would you do to like just to like improve and increase like the collegiate powerlifting scene and like help it become a more like mainstream sport?
I honestly want to say promotion, no matter who the lifter is. I feel like right now in the powerlifting world, we don't really like capitalize on like people being athletes, like because we're like that percentage out of like billions of people in the world that can do these things that nobody else cannot do. Like I don't really know nobody that can just rep 600 like right off the bat. Like just having these normal conversations with these people like at the gyms and stuff. Like, oh my god, you can rep 600, you can do this, you can do that. Like I feel like promoting like athletes uh is a huge factor that we should do. Especially on the collegiate side, like we have so much to like bring to the table, and to the fact for the fact that like it's not being like broadcast like it should be. Like we shouldn't have to wait till somebody does something great to like not award them, but like recognize them and stuff like that.
I like that answer. Chancellor, you're, I guess, the second most experienced with actually being at CNAS and stuff. So what would you say to this question? Like, how would you help improve and increase collegiate powerlifting?
I believe the same thing as what Jordon said, but something I also feel like that would help is stuff that I seen on the IPF side where like they do like the interviews, the after the meet and before the meet. I feel like that's pretty cool and like it's like the professional kind of side to the sport, and I just feel like that'd be fun to do. So I feel like that would also help it as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be great. Also, just like it's something also to play. Like, there's always time in between like squat, bench deadlift, and just like before the meet, like people could tune in a little bit before. So I think that's a good idea. Like for the IPF side, like I was with Powerlifting America last year, like by World and stuff, when we were doing all the pre and post meet interviews, and I like that. I like that idea. It's just hard. Somebody has to actually like be in charge and actually go be there and run it. But I do like that idea, and I think I think it definitely would help like have people tune in. Like people have to know like who the collegiate lifters are, like where the battles are. Like yeah, it's cool to see people lift some big weights, but like if you know who the lifters are, then like you're always going to be more intrigued, and then like you can follow them and see like how their life and training is going, and you get like a storyline. And yeah, okay, so I like that. Dante, you're part of a big powerlifting team in your school. So what do you think can do to help, like not necessarily increase it in your school, but like increase it around the country and whatever?
I feel like there should be like a meet you have to do to make it to nationals instead of like everyone just being able to do nationals. You know what I mean? Like, because some people sign up and they don't even have like QTs or anything, but I feel like it should be different where you like for Texas high school powerlifting, like you got to go win a regionals and then you can go to state. I think it should be something like that where you do a meet to qualify for a big meet, but then there's a bigger meet on top of that. That's how I feel like.
I actually really like that idea. Like similar to like the tech, like you're talking like a season where it's like, let's say assuming nationals is in like April, so like let's say in December or something, like you have like regionals, like for whatever, like
Yeah,
let's say 4 or 5 regions, and then like either based off totals or like top few placings, those people get to make it to nationals, something like that.
yeah, because like a lot of people don't see it like it as competitive because they see that everyone can just sign up for national. Because nationals is supposed to be like the best of the best go, but sometimes like people that are nowhere near the best are going. Like they just signing up because the QTs are not that high. Like you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be all competitive, and I feel like it could be more competitive if they added in a meet before nationals.
Right. So you want to change the structure where like this, all the schools that have like their teams and clubs, like yeah, you could send everyone to whatever like your state championships or figure out what how the setup is, but like everyone could compete there, and then like and that's a way to get everyone into the team and into the sport. But like in terms of nationals in every other sport is like nationals. It's like the same idea as like when you're in high school, like a state championship. Like that's like the highest level, and that should just be reserved for the people that like
Yeah,
make it to the highest level.
yeah.
Okay. Um,
Also 6 attempts. I think that should
six
be
to ten.
6 attempts. Yeah, because then I
Uh,
mean I feel like it'll be better
okay.
because not everyone's gonna stay and watch the 4 or 5 hours of us competing. I feel like 6 attempts is good because in every other sport you don't get a second chance. You know what I mean? That's how I feel
So
like.
are you talking 6 attempts for powerlifting in general?
Yeah, in general, like 2 squats, 2 bench, and 2 deadlift. That's how I
So
feel like.
so so nothing to do with collegiate. You just think 6 attempts, make the meet shorter, make it. It definitely would make it more interesting. Where like there would be more like in 9 attempts. I mean, when you have the third attempt for everything, it's like you're usually going to have it more along the lines of like the strongest people will like usually win unless like really
Yeah,
close. But like if somebody's much stronger, they'll usually win. But like if you only have 2 attempts for each lift, like one missed attempt, then like it could shake things up. Well, it could make it more like intriguing, and each lift matters. Like your openers, like when in a regular meet with
yeah,
9 attempts, like for the most part, like something light, they don't really matter. So you just want to make it more shorter and then like more like risky and reward, where it's like, oh, he only got 2 attempts, he's gonna take like a 30-kilo jump, and if he misses this,
yeah.
like he's just done.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I mean. I feel like powerlifting will be more competitive and more eyes will be on it because it'll be less time for you to watch and people can just watch in like 2 hours, 3 hours instead of like 5, 6 hours.
Right. Well, I think that's a separate problem. Is I think the meets just have to be run in a structure that's quicker because like 5 6 hours should not happen. Like there's
Yeah,
no like a standard like 2 flight or even a standard 3 flight meet shouldn't take more than 4 hours. Like I've been to
yeah,
plenty of 3 flight meets that are done in like 3.5 hours if there's like a good meet director. So that's part of it is just like getting it run well because like especially USAPL does a pretty good job of it. It's not like there are other feds. Like I was once at a meet for I think it was like I forget which one it was. Maybe it was USPA or WRPF where it was like it took like 8 hours, and that's
yeah.
just like
Those are
they
crazy.
like that's just ridiculous. And like it was one they did it in one session instead of two, and like people had like a 2 hour break between like squat and bench. Like
Yeah,
they were like they squatted at like 10 a.m. and they were deadlifting at like 5 p.m. Like
I
that's not
mean
normal, but okay.
Texas high school powerlifting meets run like 5 days, 7 hours, but there's like 200 to 300 lifters each meet, and at state there's like 1,000 plus lifters.
Wow. Yeah, so that's definitely difficult. Gabriel, so you're in a different situation. You're in a much smaller and newer powerlifting team and club. What do you think can be done to like just help increase college powerlifting?
Specifically like at my school, I think just hosting events that actually teach like gym goers and like just like the general population like what powerlifting is because I still get stuff where I like tell people I'm a powerlifter and they're like, oh, you mean like the like that, so I
Yeah.
just like exposing it more to people, like hosting fun like just seminars where it's like people can like show up and see like what it is, learn about it. But I also feel like just for like watching, I agree with like the promotion, like creating storylines, I feel like when you actually like care about like the lifters or like there's some kind of rivalry, stuff like that, it's just more interesting. Or like even like trailers or stuff like that. Nothing like over the top, but just little stuff like that. I feel like could help make things more interesting instead of just watching somebody pick up weights for a couple hours, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually like another thing that I think is just impossible to do at CNET since you have too many platforms is like having announcers that are just like that know like the lifters and stuff like that. Like I find like the meets that I'm most intrigued at, like obviously they're high level meets, but stuff like Worlds where like you have announcers who know the lifters, so like they could talk about the lifters. They know the lifters from different standpoints. Like they'll know what they've done in competition previously, but they'll also know like, oh yeah, this lifter is like is a mother of 3. Like she just came back from like she had kids and now she came back to lifting. Or like this lifter, like I don't know, they're a new lifter. They've only been lifting for 2 years and they somehow made it to the highest level. Or like, I don't know, this lifter is 50 and he's been competing since before these other lifters were born. Like things that just make it like interesting versus just like saying like, and next up is, and you just say the name and like you just say the number on the bar and it's like, okay, like you could just like follow that on like lifting cast. You don't need like you can't. The problem is you can't really do it for collegiate nationals. What I wish they did for collegiate nationals was do primetime sessions.
Yeah.
Where like you have, because there's too many lifters. So like I don't know like how many lifters are in the 125s because it's not necessarily as popular like in terms of total numbers versus like the 75s or 82 and a halfs where like the light like the middle classes or the 90s. But like some of these classes will have like 50 lifters. So it's like you could have like the top 5 in each class and then just have like prime time for like the 3 nights or whatever it is. I don't know how many nights, how many days CNATs is this year? Like
4.
3 or 4?
4.
4? Yeah, 4. Okay. Yeah. So like you already have all the equipment there and you already have the venue. So like just having like prime time would make it like where you can have like the top 5 in each weight class. And like you have like, let's say like you guys are like in the heavier one. So like let's say the last day would be like the 125s, 140 and 140 pluses. And that's just 15 lifters or whatever. The exact number doesn't matter. Like, I don't know if it'd be 5, 6, whatever it was, but like just the podium contenders. And then like it could be a deeper dive into like the highest level. And like for that, you could definitely have like the announcing where like people know, like everyone knows what's going on. And like you could have like interviews and stuff because it'll be a much more relaxed point versus like in middle of the day when there's hundreds and hundreds of competitors competing at like the same time. And like, it's like I did announcing at CNETs 2 years ago and it's literally impossible. You're trying to announce 4 platforms at the same time. It's impossible. It's literally an impossible task. So,
yeah.
Dude, I
completely
think, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say like real quick, I completely agree. Cause I know like the gym I lift at, when they do primetime sessions for their like meets, it gains like a lot of traction, and then they do like a bunch of like posters and like do like like athlete info on like their Instagram, is just little stuff like that where you get to know like the athletes and like, you know, you hype it up as like, oh, this is like what you want to watch, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think primetime meets are still like, I mean, USAPL Raw Nats have been doing it for a while now. Like they've been doing it for like 7, 8 years or something like that. I don't remember the first one, but like a lot of the other meets have started doing now. Like I know like in New York, like for the state championships, they now have like New York prime time. So they have like a prime time like thing. And they actually do it cool where it's the state championships are mostly on Sunday and they have the prime time Saturday night. It's like pretty cool. And it's like it's not in like a local area. So everyone's already like traveling. So everyone's already there. So it's like a cool thing. Or like different, like they should have like all regionals, I think all the like maybe a regular local meet, like not really, just because it's small, you only have a couple of refs, it's hard to have it, but like any like either multi-day meet or like a higher level meet, I think they should just do that. I think that would definitely increase like visibility, because it's hard, like it's hard to watch, like even if like let's say like I want to watch the 125s, right? And let's say other people want to watch 125s, to even like find where the 125, like you have to like look through the 4 different streams and the 5 different flight, like to even find like you find the information and you got to find like the correct stuff versus like having like, yeah, so you're still going to have a lot of people just doing the regular day session, but like for the people that bring in the most eyeballs, like the strongest lifters and like the highest level, like those people like are on their own kind of platform and at their own time, where like it's easy to watch if you want to, and it's like, and if you only want to watch for like a shorter period of time, you get to watch all the best versus like having to like sift through like, okay, you see the best and now you watch like 14 other people. Like I don't know who's going to be on what platform, but like you'll have platforms at CNETs where like somebody will like be opening with 300 kilos in squat, and then they'll do their opener, and then you go to the second round, and then there'll be a kid like opening with like taking a second attempt with like 170, and it's just like, so like you watch like 15 minutes and you see like 2 or 3 like people at the end who are like strong, and then you just see like, and then you just like go to the beginning and it's like whatever, and they should all like have fun and be able to compete, but like it doesn't necessarily have to be together with like those top lifters. So that's a interesting thing. Okay.
I'll say too that even wait,
yeah,
can you hear
go.
me? Okay, yeah, even from like a spectator standpoint, like last year I wasn't able to go to CNATs, but I still wanted to watch like who was going to win each class. And I remember one session where it was like actually so hard to watch. Like it was like the 125s were going, the 110s, the 100s, and it was like all on different platforms, and they would all be going at the same time. So like you would miss so much like action, or like you would have to like, if you didn't know how lifting casts worked, or like you just weren't in tune with like the lifters that are going, like you didn't know who was necessarily in contention, it was just super hard to watch. I guess the issue with having a primetime meet is that they would have to cut back on like the number of lifters. Like I think this year it's like either 12 or 1,300 lifters. So it's like every day, 4 days, it's like full 3 sessions. So it's like there's just no way to have a primetime session. But that would definitely be like just a lot better for viewability.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'll just ask each of you a question. So we talked about you guys, talked about the 125s. So I want each of you to tell me like either one lifter, either like from your school or like that you've been seeing that you're like, or one other battle in a different weight class that like you're excited to see for. So we'll start with you, Gabriel. Give me like one person either from your school or that you know of, that or one battle that you're like excited for at this nationals.
For me, we have a 267.5s in my on the team competing on the women's team. So I'm just excited to see that because their numbers are pretty close. It's Ella Greenstreet, Anna Hagiwara, but I also know like 67s is stacked. So I think that's just going to be an exciting division to watch in general.
On the women's side?
Yeah, on the women's side.
Yeah. I mean, in general, 6'7" everywhere. 6'7" are stacked everywhere, so that should be fun. Okay. Chancellor.
So I honestly don't know of any like battles going on in other weight classes, but I do want to shout out to my 2 friends that are competing in the 125s equipped. Their names are Ethan Diaz and Logan. Yeah, they're on the equipped side. Yeah, they're only 2 in my weight class on the team. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to them.
So they're from your team, from Sam Houston. Oh, okay, and they're on the equipped side. So who's stronger, you or them?
I'm honestly stronger than them, but but yeah, I'm excited to see which one of them 2 will come out on top on the equipped side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, Dante, your turn.
I'm just excited to see who would total more me or set. Honestly, I really want to out total him and show him like that I meant what I said when he told me he was gonna demolish me. Or other than that, the 67s for the men's side. Raw. I have one of my boys, Ever. He's been working really hard, but that class is stacked, and that class will determine whether we win or Midland win, I think, because the points.
Okay.
Are you
Jordon.
in set lifting? Sorry, are you in set lifting at the same time? Do you know?
Yeah, we'll be going at the same time, so I'll be able to see what he's doing. We'll probably be warming up together.
It'll be a little side quest.
Yeah, he just needs to get his bench up, but his deadlift is really good too.
Who's handling you?
Mikey D can't handle me, so Tony might handle me, or I forgot his name. Hold up. Oh, Carrington might handle me.
Oh, okay. And then who's handling Seth?
Tony, because we did a coin flip. Because Tony knows both of our trainings. He's here all the time. We actually have we're all gonna live together today. This is our last every squad day. Me and our 67. So our whole team is gonna be here at 4. And Tony watched all our training, so he said do a coin flip. And I had the confidence. I was like, you know what, Seth, you can take him. He's like, nah, just do a coin flip. And Seth won, so Seth got him. So Seth has an advantage over me because Tony's really smart, but I feel like Carrington's smart too. They'll be going against him, and Carrington are friends, Tony, so we will still be competing, like who's a better handler as well between them two.
Right. Okay. Jordon, who are you excited to watch or see?
Well, I'm gonna start with the female team. I don't know they weight class for sure. So that's a bad teammate on my part. But I'm gonna start with Zariah Valentine. That's somebody that I look forward to watching. She's really been working pretty hard trying to win nationals. I think she's been like in the top 5 for the past 2 years. I think she's a junior this year. I say another girl that I look forward to seeing compete, Carly Reese. She's a freshman. I don't know her weight class to the extent, but it's up there. For the men, I think Maury Mendenhall, he's in the 308, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Carson Crayer, Chase Toombs, and Jake Walter. Those are like the ones that I'm like looking forward to seeing. And my boy Brogan Black. I forgot about Brogan. I don't know. Well, I know Jake is. I think he's a 75 kg. I think 74, 75. One of those. Yeah, I just don't know their weight class. I wish I did, but yeah, I look forward to watching them. So those are some names that I personally would like tell people to watch out for sure.
Okay. Fine. Now I'm going to put you guys all on the spot, and I'm going to start with Dante because it's really fun. Pick your podium in the 125s.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of confidence. So I say first.
What?
I said I have a lot of confidence, so I'm gonna say first.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say because I said first.
First for yourself.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah,
you gotta get the whole podium.
Oh, I don't know. Because we can't see Jordan's training.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Gabe or Chance in second.
Okay.
And then Jordon.
Fine. Chancellor, go.
I'm gonna say me at first. I think I'm gonna win. I think all of us were gonna win, but
yeah, you better all pick yourself. You better, yeah.
I'll put myself at first. Dante at second, and Gabe at third.
Okay.
What about Jordon?
Jordon fourth or third. Or third.
Jordon, your turn. Pick.
Let me see. I'm gonna say Gabe at first. I'll say Chance at second, me at third, Dante fourth. Who else I leave out?
Nobody
That's
else
all.
that we're discussing. So that's
all right.
Okay, so you're not picking yourself. Okay, interesting.
Because like I said, it's just one of those. I ain't really been keeping up with everybody. I just been focused on me. But like I said, I just look forward to it.
Okay, Gabriel, go.
I'm gonna say me at first.
Okay.
Probably Dante second, Chance third, and Jordan fourth. I don't know anything about Jordan's training, so yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea what the order is going to be, and if I get my wish, all four of you are pulling for first on your third attempt. That's what I want to see. Okay. This is my wish, right? My wish is Dante goes out there and squats, who knows how, 5 billion pounds, like 8 something, I don't even know what, 840 or whatever his number is. And then you guys all squat also a ton of pounds. And then on bench, Jordan, what's your bench? Have you benched 400?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You're gonna bench. You're gonna bench more this meet. I guess we'll see. So I want to see that, and then I want to see Chancellor. I want to see you hit what you did in prep on bench, and same with Gabriel. You're both shooting for that. You both have that same number, and then Dante again is gonna bench something huge. Dante, what are you gonna bench?
I'm opening with the really high, so I'd say like between 520 and 540.
Okay, so I want to see that,
because I'm gonna make these guys pull for 8, and obviously
right. That's the end.
But I get like
your deadlift's going up though. Like I saw your last deadlift, and like you have that wasn't a max. Like you've never.
Yeah.
I haven't found a max deadlift for you.
Yeah, because I get like 7 to like 20 keys on deadlift. Because my last meet I couldn't even pull 6, and then I pulled 633 at the meet. Because at the meet I take everything to the heart, and I get in there, you know. So this meet I put 670, but it was just right there where I didn't lock it out. I was like, why am I gonna fatigue myself? So I just dropped it, and I had to use the restroom. So I was like, no, let's put it down. And it was right there, like let me see. So I know, like at the meet, possibly if I have a good day, 680 is definitely there. Even though that sounds crazy to say. This was
okay.
Oh, you can't really see it. Let me turn off the thing on here. Like it was right there. Oh, like it was.
Okay, yeah. All right, I could see where it was. Yeah, okay.
And I've never picked anything over 617 up in training.
Okay, so fine. So that's my goal. So squat that, then bench that, then Dante is gonna hit his deadlift, and then it's on all three of you to try to load that up. So, I mean, I'm sure all three of you have big pulls. So I don't know who's gonna pull last, but Dante
Jordan
wants to
knows
force you guys to.
Jordan knows how it feels to pull last, at least to me.
Right. Well, Jordan's used to pulling last, so we'll see what Jordan's gonna load up. But Dante wants you guys to have to pull. Dante says I'm planning on winning, and if I don't win, it's because one of you guys is loading up something insane on deadlift. So I hope that you guys all load it up, and we'll see what happens.
Because once I finish my deadlift, I'm probably just gonna go get like a bag of chips or something and watch these guys pull.
Oh, after you finish your deadlifts, yeah, you go get some food. Like there'll probably be like a couple of lifters in between, and then you could just go sit in the front row and just of the stands and watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be good to see it. Like all these guys pulling, like over 750. Like it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I expect all three of them to be pulling like, I don't know, 770 or something like that. We'll see, 780. I mean, obviously they'll have to like make decisions based off placing, but like they're all capable of like 770 plus. So
yeah, maybe I break into the 700 this week. We don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. See, he's been posting his bench and deadlift, and he's really hiding that 700 pull. That's what he's been hiding.
Well, I get a lot of my peak, and Mikey's a very, very good coach. Like, he's changed my training up a lot, and I've made a lot of progress with him. I think he's about to add
Right.
like 150 keys when I first got with him at CNATS.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah,
Less than a year.
I hope my hope is that the podium is 900 kilos.
Wait,
If
so
we get that,
can
if
we
we
get
a
y'all's?
podium of 9.
Can we get
Oh, I'm
y'all's
not
podium?
making picks. I can't.
You put us on the spot. So
Yeah. Well, because you guys have to pick yourselves. But my podium. I don't think I could give my podium.
But you gave it up with all the others, like with the Powerlifting American guy. That's why I would like to see your podium.
I know, but it happens to be. I haven't seen Jordan's training, so it's literally I can't guess. My guess. Okay, my
We
guess
might do a
is
preview,
that,
so maybe we'll say it there. We'll save it for there. I also might be commentating, so I don't know if I'm really supposed to.
okay. All I'll say is that whoever goes 9 for 9 wins the meet. That's all I'll say.
I feel
Because
like
let me explain why. Because 9 for 9 means you hit all your temps, but also means you hit your third deadlift. And if you're pulling your third deadlift, you know what you're loading for. So everybody here is trying to win. So if they hit their third deadlift, that means they just pulled for the win. Unless we have multiple people go 9 for 9, and then I don't know. But I think just 9 for 9. Like,
I feel like I'm good
9.
enough to miss one attempt.
Oh, okay. So you're giving a one attempt handicap on everyone.
Yeah, because my third squat is not gonna be too crazy. Like my biggest jump is gonna be on squat.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, a bunch of you guys are big squatters, so I mean, definitely you and Gabriel are both like squatting. Well, you're squatting obviously more than you deadlift, and Gabriel's squat and deadlift are like pretty close to each other also. I couldn't imagine squatting what I deadlifted. It's weird.
Subtotal specialist.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I don't know what like in history, but if you do what you're trying to do, your subtotal will be pretty crazy. So yeah, fine. So I'm not gonna pick actual winners, but you guys, I just want you guys to live up to the hype. Like, I think this 125s class is the best class that I've ever seen at CNATS, and I want to see a lot of green on lifting casts, not so much red. That's my goal.
If you can't give us the podium, what do you think each of us will hit at the meet?
I think.
Question.
No, well, okay. I think it depends on if you hit lifts, right? Like if you go 9 for 9, Dante, I think you hit 2K. But are you
What
going
about
to go 9
Gabe?
for 9? What?
What about Gabe and Chance and Jordan?
Okay, so I can't. Jordan, I honestly can't answer, but I'll just tell you, like using trends. He's really trying to get me to make picks. I'm gonna put Jordan, if he goes 9 for 9 at in kilos at 880. I'm gonna put Gabriel at 895, and I will put Chance at 885. But wait. The reason why these aren't my picks is because all four of you are not equally likely to go 9 for 9. So this is all if you all go 9 for 9. Now we'll see who goes 9 for 9. But yeah,
I feel like if none of us go 9 for 9, all of us will be around like 870 to 890.
I agree. I think if you guys don't go 9 for 9, it'll probably. I think it's more realistic to be like that 870 to 890 versus like 900. Like 900 would be like if people have perfect meets, but like more realistically, like more realistically, like none of you have ever totaled more than like 850 in comp. So all these numbers we're saying are all like assuming like crazy perfect days. But realistically, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So yeah, anyway, so thank you guys all for coming on. Before we go off, like we want to just like shout out any, like, I don't know if you have sponsors or your coach or your Instagram or just whatever it is. So
I'll shout out my coach,
yeah.
Coach Hoff. Yeah, I really appreciate him. I've come a long way since I came to Sam Houston. I think when I first got to Sam Houston, I was squatting 545, benching like 375, and deadlifting 700, I think, maybe like 670, I think. So I've come a long way with him. So I really appreciate him. And I want to shout out my Instagram, Chance_Buford. Y'all give me a follow for those watching. I really appreciate that. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
Okay, great. Jordon, you want to shout out people?
Oh yeah. Shout out to my coach, Coach Brad, Coach Blanco, Nightmare Muscle, 9 for 9 Gym, Squat to Delt, Full Ammonium, Ammonia. I mean, yeah, that's everybody I can think of, and of course, so McKenzie Powerlifting.
Okay. Gabriel.
I want to shout out my coach Morgan Aquino. I think he's the best and most professional coaches out there. And then I'll shout out the Insta, The Last Barbender. The YouTube channel's the same.
Okay, I didn't realize you have a YouTube channel, but okay, so that's good to know. And any sponsors or whatever?
Yeah, Barry a Barbell, Get Raw Nutrition, and then Big Dog Enterprises. Yeah, code Bender.
Okay. Bender, the last bar bender. Okay, I like that. And Dante?
I like shout out Seth because he makes the sport more competitive for me. My coach, Mike Davis, very good coach. Even though he puts caps for me, but I always go past him, and he's always on my ass about it. Jesus, he's always texting me, giving me speeches, talking to me, always telling me I can be way past and better than him. He always keeps me in check as well. Tony, he's always there in training whenever I need him. Like if I don't know what I should load or if I need any tips, something's off, like to talk to me and tell me about it. And of course, my company and our friend's company, Able Wired Supplements, right here. This best pre-work I've ever taken. Honestly, every time I feel like don't feel good, I come in, I take it, and I feel amazing. Like it's crazy. I got shout out Able to for bringing me on the company, help letting me be a part of it and be a big role with it.
Okay, and what's your Instagram for everyone?
Dante DeLeon, and then my YouTube is Dante DeLeon. I do YouTube as well. I haven't been posting for a while, just because I couldn't say I was going raw until the roster was posted.
Okay. Anyway, so thank you guys all so much for coming on. Had some good conversation, and Dante tried to get some information out of me, but listen, I like all your guys' confidence, and I hope that it lives up to the hype.
You didn't get to ask Jordon what he was going to hit at the meet. You got to ask Gaben, Chance.
So, I can't ask him because he's not hiding, but he didn't post. So it's not fair to ask somebody if they didn't post. I mean, you guys put out your information, so like you can't hide.
I think he should just say it.
Listen, I guess we'll see on game day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, John, you have anything?
Nope. I just want to thank you guys for coming on, and we'll see you at CNETs. April 14th is the date. You guys better tune into the live stream. It's going to be It's going to be a really good battle.
Yeah.
All right. And everyone, for the listeners, just make sure to subscribe and make sure to watch these guys at CNATS.